And good morning. It is Wednesday, March the 9th, 2022, as we are laying this down live. And maybe you're watching it a few days later. That's cool too. My name is Jacob Payne, bringing you things you might have heard for this day. And this is a quick little broadcast, about 15, 20 minutes if we, embellish a little bit more. That'll give you a great start to your morning, great start to your day, and about 5 to 6 stories that you may want to chat about the day, things that happened in the past 30 hours or so that you can chat about going forward in the day. We'll explain why it seems like it's more stories than not. There was a whole lot of Russian news to pop in the day that we did not get into, and we'll sort of embellish those and so we'll throw little seeds and some things into the works as we go along. As we said, we take this from 5 a.m. Central Time to back to basically about to midnight the day before. So you get 24 to 30 hours worth of news stories to go with, and you actually get a chance to curate the news we pick. We'll explain how that works later on in the program, so stick around to see how you can be a part of the choosing process of these stories. 5 stories that were vetted by you as some of the most conversational stories worth talking about, and we're going to give them to you just in case you do not have heard them as some things to talk about throughout your day going forward. Starting off with the first story right here. And we did not do a story about Russia and McDonald's shutting down 850 McDonald's in Russia. We did not do a story about a second general being killed in the war fighting there in Ukraine. But we are doing this one because this is kind of the most relevant and makes the most sense in what's really going down there or over there, if you will. Captured Russian soldier says he realized Moscow lied when his favorite boxers joined the resistance. DailyCaller.com is the source of this one. And yes, you have seen this, and it is true. They have captured many a fighting Russian or not so fighting Russian in this 14-day-old war in Ukraine. And as you heard that the President Zelensky say into various decrees to various nations, they're treating them humanely. They're just letting them kind of sit and still. They're giving them food. They're giving them shelter. They're taking care of them because that's what you do with your prisoners of war. No declared war per se, but it is what it is. One Russian soldier essentially told basically what the truth is and the disinformation going on down in Russia, down up in Russia or whatever, because they aren't telling the truth. Putin's people aren't telling the whole truth, which is pretty obvious to anyone outside of Russia. But this one soldier captured in the battle, a little weary, a little tired, basically realized that Moscow was lying to him about the stakes was going on when he found out that some of his favorite boxers who were Ukrainian actually came back to Ukraine to fight in the resistance and, live and die as a soldier fighting Ukraine. This was not a friendly kind of mull over where you go over and just kind of join hands. They weren't just going to roll over and wave white flags or give them flowers. They thank you for protecting us. No, these people are hard charging people who want to protect their land from outsiders, and they are. This is one of the truest statements and one of the silliest ways that this statement has to come out to people who aren't paying attention. But essentially, when you realize that some of your favorite superstars are actually fighting against you when you're told to come in, it's like that. It would literally be like LeBron James and Stephen Curry going to fight in a battle for their towns when another town is trying to annex it because someone said that this town wants to be annexed. And then some of the big stars of sports who aren't, fighters show up to protest because they are there to do stuff. It's sort of the reverse of the Dave Chappelle coming in and telling folks not to build houses in a place because he doesn't want unaffordable housing. He doesn't want to bring his property value down. That's a whole different story. Like I said, we did not choose other stories to put this one in there. It's a little light, but it also brings home the point a lot harder than the other 2 Russian stories that we actually chose to pass on. Second story for this morning. Enrique Tarrio of Proud Boys charged with conspiracy in Capitol attack. USA Today, the source for this one. Enrique Tarrio is the founder, more or less, of the Proud Boys. You may have seen more of his wife on TV as they're bringing her out to kind of explain who the guy is. He hadn't been seen much of all because he was actually in jail on January the 6th. He was actually locked up for some other charge. But what they found was he was a whole part of the conspiracy in setting things up. He was a lot of the coordination and operations of the actual push of the attack. The people charging and storming the Capitol was caused and coordinated a lot by him, Enrique, and some other folks. So Tarrio is now being charged with that conspiracy and Capitol attack. We'll see how this thing goes forward. He's the first person who is charged in this at this level, and we'll see what happens next with this one. We personally believe there will be some consequences. But as we said, he's already been in jail, and that's not the problem. And in jail for other charges, for other type of acts. We'll see what happens on this act particularly. Here's a big one. Broncos, Seahawks agreed to blockbuster trade, sending Russell Wilson to Denver, Drew Lock to Seattle. TheAthletic.com is where we pulled this from. And Twitter was all abuzz about this one. Now, we also posted a few hours earlier, I believe, that Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers had signed the largest deal ever. So now, for the moment, he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, highest paid player in the NFL. That's always changes 2 or 3 times over a season during the off season. So right now, Aaron Rodgers back with the Packers for another season and the highest paid player. But this deal makes a whole lot of people really, really happy, and some people a little extra sad. Now, you think you should be feeling sad for the Seahawks losing their star quarterback and more or less their personality for the team. But people are actually really feeling sorry for the quarterback of the Raiders, as Derek Carr. Here's the deal. The AFC has the NFL football split into 2 different divisions, AFC and NFC. The NFC has, of course, the big guy. They got Aaron Rodgers. So yes, and they got a bunch of other great players as well. The AFC now has in one division, in one actual division, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr of the Raiders. He has to play those guys twice a season. He also has to play LeVar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen once a season as well. So people are feeling sorry for Derek Carr, who's not a bad quarterback, but all of a sudden, extra pressure as the stakes are up for the Raiders, who should be much better, but of course had their issues, off the field issues, that kind of helped their collapse last season. Congratulations on the big trade, and if you're a big football fan, this is going to be a great, fun season going on. What do you feel about Russell Wilson coming out of the green and blue and going to the purple and orange? Purplish, bluish, whatever you want to call that color. It's a big deal. We'll see how it plays out in the season, whether Russell Wilson can bring that magic he took from the Northwest to the Rockies. We shall see. Next story we have for you this morning is this one. Minneapolis teachers go on strike after contract talks fail. APnews.com, so the AP source news, the feed from AP gave us this one. And this is a fairly serious, very simple issue. Let's not sleep on teachers having issues, because teachers have issues. And you're seeing right here, the Minneapolis Teachers Union decided to go on strike in the middle of a really, really bad time. They've dealt with COVID. They dealt with kids, dealt with budget cuts. They dealt with so many things. And the teachers are just like, we're not going to school. What that means for everyone else is, if there's no school going on, there's no place for kids to go, and parents are scrambling to get things done. And this is not, of course, remote learning. This is flat out no learning, nothing going on. We will see how this plays out, because you can't stay on strike forever. And if, push comes to shove, you just fire all the teachers and bring in new teachers. That can't happen. Remember airport workers from back in the 80s from Reagan, when we fired all the air traffic controllers. You can do that. That is possible. The union will come back. You hire in more people and let them unionize if they feel like it. But you want to deal with the people who are trained. You want to deal with the union. You want to deal with the people who are used to it. And we'll see if Minneapolis can figure this thing out pretty quickly. Chances are it won't be as quick as the parents need for the kids to get back into some groove of normality, as we are, of course, just 3 years into pandemic. This is, I believe, this is right about the time where we found out about the original COVID-19, and the last normal week essentially is coming up on us. Let's take a quick break from the news and go to a quick commercial break because we got to pay the bills. This is conversationproject.com/Bear Mattress is your source for great sleep. Bear Mattress will take care of you. They have various different types of mattress for whatever type of sleep you have. They have all the things you need to go with a mattress, which are, of course, pillows, sheets, blankets, things like that. And they are going to give you a great deal on this mattress. And the big part about it is they're going to give you a full year to try this mattress out. 365 days to lie down, roll around, jump up and down, and just do what you do on your mattress. No judgment here. And after a year or 365 days, maybe 364, so you can get it scheduled, they will take it away from you. They'll come and pick it up. But that probably won't happen because what's going to happen when that box appears on your doorstep and you bring it in the house and open up and poof, the mattress appears, you're probably going to fall in love with it within day one. Probably maybe day 3 or 4. It may take you a while to get a little used to it, just sleeping so well and thinking that this can't be real because it's real. Check out thisisconversationproject.com's Bear Mattress. This is theconversationproject.com Bear Mattress, and you can get a chance to get a great deal on a Bear Mattress. Oh, by the way, this is an affiliate link, so we do get a little bit from this. It costs you nothing extra, but remember, just because it's going to cost you nothing extra doesn't mean that you're not going to get a great night's sleep and a great deal in the first place from Bear Mattress. One more story vetted by you, and this is one that makes everybody take pause. And the main reason why we didn't have a lot of the other stories, I told you about 3 Russia stories that were in here, and then this one basically kind of shook me in the system to make sure I cleared things out. The headline is Angelina Jolie says we cannot be selective about who deserves support as she meets refugees in Yemen. Independent.co.uk is the news source where we pulled this story from. And this is a pretty significant deal. Angelina Jolie, because she's famous, allows people to follow her around and gets to say things because she's famous, and that happens. And what she's famously saying is, yes, there are people suffering in Ukraine right now, but there's still people suffering in Yemen. There's still people suffering in other places. So you cannot be selective and point all your efforts towards a particular group forever for their support. You've got to show support to as many folks as possible. And if that's possible, everyone, if possible. Now, the everyone part gets a little hard, but you can't forget about the old and busted for the new hotness in what is the sake of who's being persecuted. So while there's a lot of focus, everything is all about Ukraine right now, there's still refugees and people suffering other places. And she's in other places reminding people of that. You may disagree with her methods, with her words. You may disagree with who she's trying to support, but you've got to at least respect the fact that she's reminding people that our attention spans focus on the Russians does not mean we can't do 2 things at once. We can't chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. We can't help other people who still need our help and may be closer to getting out of a conflict than other folks, or in this case in Yemen, have been in conflict a whole lot longer and has seen no real resolution to their conflict, and they need their support as well. Let's go to what we call a teaser story. This is a story that is coming up down the line in a few minutes, or this one actually in about an hour or so as we've posted our stories, set them up in the feed to be consumed by you. We'll explain that in a minute. This is coming from insider.com, and this story makes me a lot sad. Ilhan Omar says she'll vote against a bill to ban Russian oil, citing the devastating impact on the Russian people. Now, if you're going to turn what Angelina Jolie just said on its head and bump on this one, then you may be in favor of this. You may feel bad for this, but you also have to wonder about the motivations of the people, the liberal progressives, the people who are the rebel rousers who do get things done. But sometimes you wonder about the actual logic they have and what's going on. I say the same thing specifically about the folks on the right, that being the Boberts and the Taylor Greens, as I do with folks, members of the squad. I have the same basic beef on both sides of just saying crazy talk, just to say crazy talk, get the news. We're not going deep into the story, and I hope this headline is misleading. If you want to go deeper into this one, you get a chance to tell us how important this story is to talk about. And how does that happen, do you ask? I will tell you. Stop by our website. First, stop by our website. This is the conversationproject.com, and you can find out more about the Conversation Project, things you might not have heard, and some other projects we do that talk about the news, making news conversational and getting the most conversational people into your news conversation. That's a lot of the conversation in that statement. We're working on it. We're doing some work. I'm working with a branding expert, and we're going to try to get some things a little bit, uh, do less winging of it and have things more settled and have more polish to our promotions. We also have our feeds on Facebook. So if you follow our Facebook page at facebook.com/this is the conversation project, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/th_conversation. Our feed's there. When you follow us there, every 50 minutes we post a brand new news story, just like this one, posting in about an hour or so. And if you enjoy the story, or if you hate the story, or you just kind of quizzical about the story, read it, like it, love it, hate it, share it. The more engagement a story gets, the higher score that it pulls down when we get the polling to the actual numbers in the morning. So at 5 in the morning Central Time, I get up, I pull the numbers from Facebook and Twitter, I put them in a spreadsheet that weighs them out into a top to bottom score, and then we take the top 15 stories on Tuesday through Friday, and we pick 5 stories from that to present to you. So you vetted the stories. The top 15 you say are conversational. We find 5 of those to present to you here. On Monday, we go through the top 30 stories, and we present about 7 stories because we have going through Friday all the way back to Monday. So we have more time, more stories, so we get more in there. But that's how you can be a part of the show, how you can be a part of the picking of stuff, and you can let us know what's going on in your mind based on the stories can come in there. And they come from various sources. Some you'll love, some you'll hate, but you get a chance to see what goes on, and you pick the news. You are not Wolf Blitzer. You are not Anderson Cooper, but you get to pick the news we talk about here. You get to tell me what to do Monday through Friday mornings. Oh, and other things that we do are celebrity birthdays. Yay! Oscar Isaac, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and Brian Bosworth, the Boz, is having birthdays on March 9th. And also, we are celebrating National Crab Meat Day. So if I get my chance, maybe I'll stop by the store, grab some crab meat. Well, maybe we'll have crab cakes for tonight. We'll celebrate it at my home if we can make that happen. We'll see how that works out, how the schedule allots today. Also, one last thing you might not have known for today, stop signs used to be yellow. When the stop signs were originally brought up because they realized traffic was going to be a thing, they made them yellow. And they thought, yellow is a color that catches people's attention. It's odd, it's off. And so maybe that's going to get people to pay attention to them. Eventually, yellow turned into caution and red meant stop. I'm not sure how the whole process went out there, but your stop sign could have been yellow and you probably would not have stopped at it. Red sort of means stop, or at least that's how we've been indoctrinated and taught on red meaning stop. So there you go. Today is still, at least at this moment, Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. If you're out there watching this live with me, thank you so much. Shout out to my boy Josh, who just popped in live, gave us a comment. Give us a comment whether you're watching this live or you're checking it out in the Memorex, if you know what Memorex means, in the infinite wisdom and perpetuity of the internet later on in the day or later on down the week. Let us know what stories you enjoy, what stories you don't enjoy, and what stories you'd like to see more of. And we will do our best to talk about that because it is about being conversational with you, the viewer, the listener, the folks out there, and not just hanging out and pushing down the fake news or not so fake news or the almost fake news or the news that should be fake, but we should get more out of. Stop by our website. This is the conversationproject.com and click on the partnership tab and see how you can become a partner to us, help keep things going on, or click on the sponsorships pad and you can, check out our sponsors. And that's just a quick, easy buy something, costs you nothing else. And we get a little kickback for it, referring you there. In the meantime, we are working on more news, as you know, for tomorrow's brand. So check us out, see what's going on, check out the website, and just be here tomorrow for more of another great patch of news to get your day started with things you might not have heard here on the internet.